love this title. Our next guest is the Grand Wizard of Laundry. He's like Dumbledore with stains. Do you have a stain? He's gonna get it out. Give it up for the laundry guy, Patric Richardson. You're Dumbledore, Patric.
That's like the greatest thing ever said.
You're Dumbledore for laundry.
Oh.
Anyway, before we go, and we're gonna do specific things, executive producer Jeff and I were just talking, and this is how I know a guest resonates with the audience, because obviously we meet a lot of people, but one of your tips has resonated with both Jeff and I so much, and the tip was, overall, we are using too much laundry soap.
Right.
Did you know that overall? Because we should be using, you said this, how much should we be really using?
Well, they tell you this much for a full load, this much for a small load. We need to be using about that much, about 2 to 2.5 tablespoons.
And considering that it's basically the price of a car right now, just cut back a little bit. Okay, so we're gonna do specific summertime stains. Where are we starting at?
Well, we're gonna start with my favorite summertime thing, which is sangria.
Yes!
I love sangria, but this same tip would apply like to any kind of berries or fruit.
Okay.
And you know, in the summers when you want fruit.
Exactly.
People get really afraid of like red wine, you know, which is what this basically is.
Because that looks real bad. That looks like, oh, I'm gonna have to throw that away.
Yeah, and you don't. You just take a little bit of oxygen bleach in some warm water.
Okay.
And you just dip it in, and it's gonna turn color. And it did. Oh, good, it worked.
Way to go, Dumbledore.
You know, what can I say? It's going to turn color, and when that happens, it'll just wash out. So the chemical reaction occurred, and you know it was purple, and now it's blue. Once it turns color, it'll wash out, and that'll happen. Like mustard will turn red, strawberries will turn kind of a rust color. But when you see the chemical reaction, then you can just toss it in the washing machine
and wash it per usual.
Yeah. It's just super easy.
Okay.
But you just see that happen, and a really fun side trick is, if you're doing red wine and it turns tan, it's really cheap wine. So if your friends bring something, I'm just saying, whatever.
If your stains turn what color?
Tan.
You have cheap friends.
Yeah, well,
that's right.
I'm just saying.
You know, everybody is going to look for that now and think of you when it turns tan.
Everybody's going to be like, run into the laundry room, right?
That's that $4 chuck. Yeah, anyway. What's the next one?
So barbecue sauce. And barbecue sauce, I think, is actually the hardest stain of every stain to remove.
Really?
Yeah, I think barbecue, because it's...
Is it oily?
It's so oily, and the oil kind of protects the color. So when you have a barbecue sauce stain, imagine it's like a big bubble of oil, and the color is actually in the middle. And so since water and oil don't mix, it kind of protects that stain. So it's easy to fix. What you do is you spray it with like 50 white vinegar, 50 water.
Okay.
This is just like cheap white vinegar. And you spray it and give it a little rub, and it moves the oil. And then you can just take soap and a brush, and it'll come right out. Like, I'll do this half so you can see it. And it just comes right out. See it, it ends up, the other trick I should have mentioned, put a towel under your stain, because it absorbed the vinegar. It was working from the bottom while I was working from the top. And so it just comes right out.
And that's just normal soap, right?
Yeah, it's just like laundry soap that you pick up at the grocery.
No. Wow. So the 50-50, this is a best friend that you should just always have.
Right. I mean, these two things, this and the next one we're going to go to, you should just have in your laundry room. And the next one is vodka.
Okay. You know what show you're on, Patric.
Well,
you sure do. Yeah.
I have a spray bottle of like brine in the back.
Yeah.
But this is like the cheapest. I know this isn't vodka you would drink. This is the cheapest vodka I could find.
Depends on the day, Patric.
Well, you know. I always say it's college vodka.
Yes.
So vodka will remove the odor from anything. So like sneakers, you know, like it's summer and everybody has sweaty sneakers, but also like your gym bag, your yoga mat, your kid's camp backpack, you can spray it with vodka. And the thing is, vodka, I can prove it. When it dries, it gets, I didn't want to spray it on you. When it dries.
Because I just start licking the air. Yeah.
It's odorless and colorless when it dries. So like you could spray this on your kid's car seat and it would be fine.
Really?
Yeah. And it's antibacterial. I even use it to clean my kitchen counters.
So it really, because I've heard I thought it was an old wives' tale that vodka has no scent. It's true.
It's true. Yeah, I mean, like, it takes a second. You can try it. It won't. It doesn't.
It has no scent.
No.
Holy crap! Okay. So keep that in the laundry room.
Yeah, and keep.
Mom, get the vodka.
Right. And it also works like if you're like a campfire. And you come and you have that campfire smell. Vodka will
that just happened this weekend. Okay,
well,
we got to do that. Okay, the last one?
Well, this was actually the last one.
Okay.
Ball caps, also a summertime thing. You can wash them in the dishwasher. So you set it on the top rack of the dishwasher, and you put this like over the tines to kind of help it hold its shape. And then just turn the dishwasher on, and the hat will come out brand new. It'll look perfectly new. Yeah, it's super easy. It's actually the hot water. The water gets hot enough to sort of melt all the sweat inside the ball cap.
Wow. Someone go, ew. Well, don't put your bowls in there, too.
Right. I mean, it's 2 different times.
2 different times. More with Patrick when we come back. Back in a moment, everybody. Wow. Because I have a lot. Okay. Welcome back. Laundry time. With the Dumbledore of laundry, the laundry guy, Patric Richardson. By the way, his show, which my mom is obsessed with, The Laundry Guy, is available on Discovery Plus. Here's a little bit of it.
Patrick really knows his stuff, so I trust him.
I'm going to spot treat these patches, but I have to do it while the jacket's still wet. I'm going to put a little stain remover in my hands, and I'm going to apply it with my fingers directly to the patches. I'm going to grab my horsehair brush, get it wet, and then I'm just going to very gently scrub through this patch. So I put the stain remover on the wool patch, and the second that I hit it with a brush, it started to bleed. I've got to go back in water. This is very unusual. I've never had it happen with stain remover, which is not good. What you want to do is reverse what you've just done as fast as you can.
Patrick! Who knew there would be drama on your show?
I know, it's hysterical. It's totally real because my mom saw it and she was like, I knew you were terrified. Because,
I'm terrified for. Now I have to go watch that episode. Yeah. Well, we have Aaron in the audience because whenever Patrick's here, we like to have the audience ask questions. Aaron, who do we have first?
First of all, we have Barb in the audience today. Hi, Barb.
Hi.
Why don't you let him know your question?
I have a stain that had a stain, and
it birthed a stain?
It's got like an outline of the cleaner that I used, and I thought, well, I'll just wash it. And it came out, and I dried it, and now I still have the stain.
You have the outline of the stain?
Yes, the outline of a stain that is bigger than what it was.
Before.
That's a good question, Barb.
Like a gremlin. Patrick, what should she do?
It's actually really simple. You need to get it wet, scrub it with a brush and some soap, but then here's the real trick. You heat up water like in a tea kettle, stretch it over a bowl, and as high as you can hold it, you pour the water straight through it. And the force actually is what will remove the stain, but that really hot water causes the fibers to open so that the stain will disappear.
Wow. When you do that, will you tape it for us? I need you to record. Thank you. Aaron, who do we have next?
This is Paula.
How do you get iron out of whites?
Like you have like hard water?
Yeah.
Okay, it's really easy. You need 2 things. You need baking soda, about 1/4 cup of baking soda, and at the grocery store you can buy something called a color catcher, and it's just this little sheet that you throw in the washing machine. Those 2 things together will keep your whites like bright white. The other thing is never use bleach.
Never use bleach?
Yeah.
That's right, you do not use bleach for anything.
No.
And what's a color catcher again?
A color catcher, it's just this little sheet, and it's actually just filled with washing soda, but it absorbs all of the color, and it'll absorb the iron from the water, and the sheet will come out like really rusty orange. And they're just disposable. You just pick them up.
Sure, Dar has one.
Grocery, whatever.
Yeah. Aaron, who do we have?
I have Chris here. This is Chris. Hi, Chris.
Hi. I want to know how to get deodorant stains out of your shirts.
Oh.
Sure.
They said, ooh, that's a good one.
Yeah. This is actually my #1 most requested stain.
Really?
Yeah, of everything. So what you do is you take a little bit of oily soap. You can use dish soap, but you have to use like uber gentle dish soap. Like the blue dish soap that like will take out everything is way too harsh. So use really gentle dish soap and then sprinkle a little oxygen bleach on it. Rub it in with your finger, let it sit about an hour, and then run hot water through it, and it'll disappear. But the better trick is once you've gotten the stain out, from that point forward, every single time that you put it in the washer, spray it with vinegar and water, the stain will never come back.
Really?
Yeah.
My mom right now is like feverishly writing everything down.
She can call me.
She'll call, I know. Yeah. Don't tell her that.
No.
Do not give my mom your number.
Well,
she'll be calling you every day.
It's fine.
No, last really quick, what is your kryptonite? Is there, other than that scene, I was wondering, Dumbledore, what is your kryptonite? Is there a stain that just, you had to figure it out and it took you a while to figure out?
The hardest thing for me to figure out was perspiration on wool, because you can't use oxygen bleach on wool. So I had to figure out something that would break that down, but would still be wool safe. It took me a while, but I figured out it's ammonia.
Oh, well, there we go.
Yeah.
Well, give it up for Patric, everybody. Go to laundryevangelist.com and go watch his show. You'll love it. Catch episodes of The Laundry Guy on Discovery Plus. We'll be back. We're opening up the mailbag right after this. Back in a moment. Ammonia.